Hello comic book fans, this is your host Travis Collins, aka Duck Punch, and I'm back for another episode of Duck Punch Comics. We're going to be reviewing 4 more books that came out on September 9th, 2010. Today we are going to be looking at The Sixth Gun, number 4, New Avengers, number 4, Justice League Generation Lost, number 9, and Thanos Imperative, number 4. Now, you know the drill by now. We jump straight to our reviews with The Sixth Gun, number 4, by Cullen Bunn, with art by Brian Hurt. Now look, I know I did not preview this issue, but a friend of mine at the Outhouse, shameless plug here, recommended this series to me, and I'm really glad I took him up on it. This has got to be one of the most unique and most engaging stories I've read in a really long time. This is good fun. Now, the story behind this series is that 6 mystical guns exist, which give their bearers incredible power. General Hume, the undead former bearer of the 6th gun, the most powerful one, has gathered 5 of the other gun bearers to him and is seeking his former weapon, which is in the hands of a young woman named Becky, who in turn is protected by a man named Drake Sinclair and his buddy Bill John O'Henry. Now in this issue, Hume has chased our heroes into a canyon where Drake hopes to use a legendary creature known as a Thunderbird that lives in the canyon to either kill or at least slow their pursuers down. Becky, having discovered part of Drake's past, tries to run away but ends up right in the hands of the general, thus forcing Drake to make a dangerous choice. Now Bunn is telling a remarkable story here. It's a western, cowboys and all that jazz, but it's rife with supernatural action and interesting characters. What's really intriguing to me is that there isn't much of a whoa factor on the part of the characters, except for Becky, and that only occasionally. For them, all the monsters and zombies and demonic powers are fully integrated into their Wild West world. It's really well done. Now, Hurt is really great on art. Think kind of Mike Mignola meets Brian Chirilla. Very stylish, but very, very good. This is one of those rare books that makes me glad I occasionally stray out of superheroes. If you liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Supernatural, you'll be right at home with The Sixth Gun. Grab it today. Actually, grab it yesterday. Next, from Marvel, New Avengers number 4, by Brian Michael Bendis, with artwork by Stuart Immonen. In what continues to be a very solid story arc, Bendis kind of dials back some of the out-and-out storytelling for a bit more action than we've seen in the last few issues. But man, does the end of this issue pack a serious wallop, and may very well change the playing field for one of Marvel's hallmark characters. Now, the demonic attack continues in New York City, with the New Avengers desperately trying to keep things under control, with little to no success. Despite some razzle-dazzle from Doctor Strange, nothing seems to help, but the attack then suddenly subsides, and Iron Fist returns from his meeting in the other world. After knocking Strange on his ass, he announces that he has discovered that Doctor Strange is in fact the cause of all their problems, and that if they don't find out who the rightful owner of the legendary Eye of Agamotto is, things are going to get worse. Look, I gotta say it, I really like Bendis' story here. It's fresh, it's unique, it's not something I've seen before. Yes, I am still bitter about the treatment of Dr. Voodoo, and it's just as bad here as it has been in the past few issues. But on the whole, it's still a pretty solid comic book story. Stuart Immonen is an amazing artist. Simply tops. There's no other else to say. He's really as good as everyone says he is. New Avengers is really shaping up to be a strong book that is so much better than the other Bendis-written Avengers title that shall remain nameless. I'm still a little wary, but if this keeps up, I might be here for a while. Next up, Justice League Generation Lost, number 9, written by Judd Winnick, with artwork by Fernando Dagnino. I'm going to go against the grain here. A lot of people really liked this issue, but I was kind of meh about it. This is the first time I've been a little let down by this title. Now, the evil Maxwell Lord has appeared inside of the now-defunct Justice League International's headquarters and quickly takes control of Fire, using her to attack her allies. Captain Atom and Booster Gold successfully fend off his attack, but Maxwell escapes to fight another day. And given the revelation of the purpose of his resurrection by the White Lantern at the end of Blackest Night, he makes a really desperate ploy. Now, the thing about this issue is that all we're really seeing is one big fight scene. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just felt like a lot of filler. Nothing really happened outside of the end. It was kind of happened, and now we move on. I usually like Judd Winnick because he, in my opinion, tends to mix action and exposition really well. But here, he's just really not on his game. If this Dagnino is good enough, but I would really rather see a much more dynamic artist on what's really been a very good comic. Now look, this has been a really good comic, and if this had been a run-of-the-mill anything else, I probably wouldn't have been very negative about it. But Generation Lost has been really good. So I really think this is a step back. I had really high expectations, and frankly, I was really let down. So, Last up, Thanos Imperative, number 4, written by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, with artwork by Miguel Sepulveda. You know what? I'm going to admit it. I'm going to be the man here. I squealed like a little girl reading this book. Like a little girl. This book was sheer awesomeness on a scale we rarely see. Now, picking up from the end of last issue, Nova and his super awesome strike team of awesomeness blast right into the heart of Lord Mar-Vell's ship and go toe-to-toe with his team of Avengers analogs, eventually bringing Mar-Vell himself into the brawl. Meanwhile, after being killed by Drax in the last issue, Thanos resurrects himself and returns the favor. Back in our universe, Mar-Vell realizes that someone has actually brought death to his realm and returns to take the fight to Thanos, but not before leaving at least one more gift for Nova and the gang. Bless you, Abnett and Lanning, for reminding us what a kick-ass comic looks like. This is everything I've come to love about the cosmic stories from Marvel. Big action, big story, big characters. This was top of the food chain, king of the mountain awesomeness. And here's the thing, Sepulveda, the artist, is definitely improving with each issue. It's actually kind of interesting to watch his development. Bottom line, this book rocked. Cover to cover, every single page was an event all its own. This was the most fun I've had with a comic in a very long time. So there you go, guys. 4 more books. So far, the big highlights of the week have been The Sixth Gun and Thanos Imperative. But we've got one more set of reviews. We'll see how things turn out. Be back tomorrow for the last episode. As always, leave comments. Let me know what you thought. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Hey guys, first off, I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who's taken a look at these reviews. Major thank you. I appreciate it more than I can even say. I love you guys, and I do try to, whenever I get comments, I do try to work them into the show. I wanted to actually make a request, though, of everyone that watches this. I've got 2 good buddies who are also doing some comic reviews on YouTube, Comic Close-Up and Man of Next Year. Both of them are kind of doing some different things than I usually do, but both of them are really good and really trying to get their name out there, just like I am. So there are links to their website, to their channels on my channel. Give them a check out and just give them a shout. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.